welcome back to Sounds of Silvestri, a chronological journey through the continuing filmography of Alan Silvestri. Today we'll be covering The Doberman Gang from 1972. My name is Clarence, also known as Public Enemy Number 1. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Grace, who I'm receiving word has officially changed her name to J. Edgar.
Correct. That is the person I want to emulate most in the world.
That's, yeah, everybody wants to be like J. Edgar Hoover.
Jesus.
Good person to shoot for.
Oh, certainly. Definitely not problematic at all.
No, certainly not. And I'm not going to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Grace, it's been 2 weeks since we recorded our trailer episode. How have you been since then?
I've been great. I also think we've gotten a lot of great feedback on our trailer episode, which has been very nice. So thank you everyone for messaging us or writing in. We really appreciate it. But yeah, I know today the Oscar nominations came out, and I was thinking, I'm sure everyone's going to talk about it by the time we release this, but have you ever done Rosebud and Thorn? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have. Yeah.
So I figured we could do Rosebud and Thorn for the Oscars. For the Oscar noms. Something that we're excited about, something we're looking forward to seeing that we have on our list, and then something that you're sad either got snubbed or maybe you're sad to see it included. I don't know.
Yeah. I have a feeling I know what your Thorn is going to be. But
potentially.
I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see on that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I teleworked in the morning today for work so that I could...
Oh, that's nice.
So that I could watch the nominees come in, because I thought it was going to be a much longer ordeal.
They blew through it this morning, right?
Yeah, they were over in about 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my God. Good for them, honestly. Way to not waste our time.
I would have been pissed, if I was in the audience, because they get all dressed up and then they're there for 20 minutes, but everybody wants to be nominated, so they're just hoping.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy to see Benicio del Toro nominated for One Battle After Another. I mean, everybody who's seen that movie, I think, would agree that he stole the film. I mean, he's not in it for very long.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, relatively. I mean, it's almost a 3-hour long film, so he's,
which is why I have yet to see it.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I watched it when I had some vacation time at the end of last year, because I was like, "There's no way I'm going to put this on when I get home from work. It's almost 3 hours." And I don't want to break it up into two viewings. But yeah, his performance is so good. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like a really commonly used GIF now. It's him where they're like,
"You been drinking today?"
I've had a few.
A few what?
A few small beers.
And I feel like that's just...
that's blown up like as a joke, as a moment.
I think that's the big thing that years from now, that's what people will remember about that movie is a few small beers. So that's something I was really excited to see him nominated for that. He is... there were a couple of other movies that were like this where they split nominations between a couple people in the same movie. So he was nominated, and then Sean Penn was also nominated in that category. And I always wonder about stuff like that, because it just seems like it would split it.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that he'll get it, but...
Do you think Sean Penn is like the next in line? Like if you think Benicio should win, do you think Sean Penn's the next in line for that? Or do you think he's towards the bottom? Like, do you think that vote count would actually end up mattering or not?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the nominees, I haven't seen Sentimental Value, so I can't speak to Skarsgård's performance in that. I know people are really, really pulling for Delroy Lindo for Sinners, and I could see him getting it, but I mean, Sean Penn is such a memorable performance. He plays such a complete freak in that movie. So I feel like when you've got like a big performance like that, it helps cement it in the voters' minds. So I could see him, I don't know, I could see them both just getting a lot of support and it just canceling out and then it going to somebody else. But
got it. Yeah.
We will see. What about you? What's your rose for the nominees?
I want to talk about something we haven't mentioned yet. So let's see. I think my rose is Elle Fanning, Oscar nominee. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm just very happy for her. I'm really shocked like how many acting performances got nominated, and then I don't think they got nominated for casting, which is interesting because you would think
I think
the
that's
almost
right.
the whole ensemble got nominated, you know. But yeah, I just love Elle Fanning as a performer. Some people may know this year I'm working to basically clear out her filmography with my Yellow Brick Road journey. Some movies I won't see just because of the directors or, you know, the subject matter. But I have like 22 films on that list that I still have to get to, so I'm excited for that.
How many of hers have you watched so far this year?
This year I've only watched one or two, but I've watched more
early.
Previously. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's just like a ray of sunshine, and she's always very charismatic, and I just love to see her on screen. Okay,
well,
what's something? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say on your other podcast, Big White Elephants, you and Scott recently covered Teen Spirit.
Yes.
And which I was lukewarm on.
Yeah, I think we all sort of were lukewarm on it. Not to give it away.
But I said in my review, you know, I feel like Elle Fanning has a lot more talent than she's been given a chance to show off. And then, you know, just a week or so after I said that, she gets a nomination for an Oscar.
Look at you go. Yeah. I sort of feel like maybe her career up to this point has been comparable with Rachel McAdams, where there's a lot of talent, but maybe not the best roles. Rachel McAdams, another actress I love, who just got a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame.
Really? Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. They've got to be running out of space for those stars at this point, right?
I don't know if this is true. Do you have to self-nominate? I don't know how you get, like, you know, the eyes of the Walk of Fame body on you.
I know you have to pay for it. Like, you personally have to pay for it. I don't know if it's a self-nomination thing or if there's a certain criteria, but
I guess if you self-nominate, then having to pay for it is not bad. If you do not nominate yourself and then you have to pay for it, that feels like a slap in the face.
I'm sure that within acting circles, there's different levels to it where it's like, you know, oh, they self-nominated, so it doesn't count as much as, you know, like one of the core original stars or something. Or if somebody's nominated and then they're like actively going around soliciting money for it or something, I could see that. Yeah.
That's not a great look, I would say. But Domhnall Gleeson gave a really great speech, like, for her award, and then she gave a great speech honoring the people that came before her and mentioning Diane Keaton, which is very nice.
That is nice. I'll have to look that up. Was that was just recently?
Yeah, it was maybe this week or last week. Yeah.
Okay. Shows you how much I'm paying attention.
It was just very specifically locked in, I guess.
Yeah. You've got Google
alerts
web notification. Yeah, web alerts every time Rachel McAdams does anything.
Doesn't everyone?
We should. That's my resolution for 2026. Is I'm gonna use web alerts for actresses.
For actresses.
Yeah, in a non creepy way. Because I realized when I said that it didn't sound good.
It's okay. We trust you. Okay, what is a movie that you haven't seen that's Oscar nominated that you're looking forward to?
That's a good question. Well, you know, some years they spread out the nominees more, and I feel like this year, especially with Sinners, you know, it got 16 nominations.
Yeah,
so it's
the most ever.
Right. It's in a lot of categories. So I feel like this year it's going to be really easy for me to catch up and like run the gambit, watch all of them. And I think there's only like 50 films in total that were nominated. But one that I'm really looking forward to seeing it was nominated for animated feature film. And that's K-pop Demon Hunters.
You haven't seen it?
No, it's it's on my list. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it, and somehow I just haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't heard any of the music. I've just completely avoided any of that. So that's one that I know.
That's
I know
like
that
skill.
Yeah, it's like I know that one was like a huge phenomenon. So I don't know how I've avoided that. But But yeah, so that one's high up on my queue.
Wild to me. I hope you like it. You should write into Big White Elephants when you do, because we're going to do an episode.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
It's coming up. Yeah. Like a month away, but it's on our list.
Okay. I got time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one that I have not seen that I'm excited about. Then I'm just scrolling through here. Well, obviously I'm going to go and I'm going to watch Avatar Fire and Ash for a second time,
What's that nominated for?
Costume design.
Yep, that's right.
Visual effects. And I think that might be it. I did not enjoy that movie. I was fine on it. I know you have not seen any of them, right? Any of the
Correct,
Avatar?
and it's going to stay that way, I think. I've seen maybe 40 minutes of the first one on a TV at a gym, and that's it. And I said, I'm done.
That's how it. I think when James Cameron all those years ago was thinking of making that movie, that's the ideal way that he was hoping people would watch it.
He's like, this is how people need to witness cinema. Yeah.
I liked Way of Water, and then I just felt like, well, I got to support James Cameron, because he's never, because he's never missed. And then it turns out with this one, I think he may have missed.
A 3-hour miss is a tough miss.
Yeah.
I think that counts more
than all of his other wins. Yeah, I think that.
Well,
I think it cancels them all out.
Yeah.
So I think it might be over. I think it's over for Big Jim.
Yeah, because he was supposed to make 5 of them, right? And he's sort of like, now I don't know. He's sort of like, maybe 3's enough.
Well, that was the thing. Yeah, I think he was trying to juice the numbers a little bit, but when he was doing, the press tour for this newest one, he said, well, I don't know, if this doesn't do good, maybe that's it for me. Maybe I'll move on to something else. And then everybody who would like to see him do other things was like, nobody go to Avatar. Like, we need this to flop. We need Jim to do something new. But I think it did end up doing pretty well. I haven't checked
another
the numbers.
L for grassroots campaigning. God.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. As if they haven't taken enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is. I think it is the plan to do at least 5. But I mean, he's no spring chicken. Yeah. Sigourney Weaver is only getting older.
And what do those contracts look like?
Exactly.
Like, is
we need
DOP contracted for 10 years? Like, what's?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's at this point. By the time, if they do 5, by the time the 5th one comes out, it will have been like 20, 25 years since the first one. So it's like that's a real commitment. But we need it to do well because we need Zoe Saldana to stay the
top grossing actress.
That's it. It's for Zoe.
That's an admirable goal. I mean,
yeah,
she's got to stay up there for sure.
Does that sound better than me saying that I need to support James Cameron? If I say that I need to support, okay, I'll change it to that then. Great,
yeah,
great.
Mm-hmm.
When people ask me why, make a mental note. I'm gonna delete the part where I said I was supporting James Cameron.
Great. I'm glad we could workshop that this year.
Yeah,
we talked a lot about at the camp I worked at. Speaking in draft. So that was just your first draft, and we made some edits.
Speaking in draft, I like that.
Well, what about you? We had a lot of
Oh, of course, theater camp. That sounds very much like a theater camp thing.
Artsy,
yeah.
Well, unsurprisingly, there's a lot I haven't seen. I am bad at going to see new movies in theaters, especially like around here. There's a theater that's pretty affordable, but like I'm not shelling out $18 to see a movie. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not in the place where I can do that right now, and that's okay. But I mean, I mentioned I want to see Sentimental Value. That's like, I think my top on my list. I keep promising a coworker I'm going to go see Marty Supreme, and it hasn't happened yet. So maybe I'll get around to that. I'll get around to it eventually. But I think I really do want to see, The Secret Agent.
Okay.
That's one I really liked. I'm Still Here last year about that time in Brazilian history around the dictatorship. I'm interested to see a different take on it. Maybe a more insular political look. I don't know exactly how that pans out, but I also do want to see the voice of Hind Rajab, but I'm also like I feel like that's one that I have to brace myself for. I think that's going to be pretty distressing. But
yeah, that's one that you have to make time for. It's not. That's not like one that you're going to throw on
exactly
when you have some. Yeah.
I do like going to see the shorts when they do those packages. So I'm going to see some of those. I know some of them are already streaming, or if they're like a documentary, often like the newspaper, so that backed it will already have it up online. So I like to check in with those. I think All the Empty Rooms is going to wreck me. I already cried when they did the news story on it about the rooms of kids who did not come back from school shootings. And I think that seeing it as a documentary short when even the news bit was a little too much is going to be tough. But once again, documentary, important to see.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate. I was thinking about this recently, going back and looking at some of the nominees in recent years, and it feels like every year we have either a documentary short or a documentary feature that is about school shootings or tangentially related to school shootings, and it's so unfortunate.
Was it the one last year that was animated, an animated short about, or was that the year before? There was one recently where it was maybe like 4 minutes, which was really affecting. But yeah, I think last year I remember all the live action shorts being very depressing as well. I think these might have a little bit more comedy in it. I'm looking at Jane Austen's period drama. Maybe that'll be a little funnier. Then
I did like that one. I think that might be the only one in that category that I've seen so far, and I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, just last year it was. I went with Hillary and Andy from The Village and Aaron, and I think Andy had to go see something else because we didn't the person who got there first did not grab the tickets for everyone, so there wasn't seats left. So I don't remember. He had to see some like crazy horror film that was not great, but we all sat through all of the live action shorts, which were great but also very tragic. But I like when they do those packages like that, just so you can see them all together, which is really nice.
Yeah, I've got to see if they're doing that near me, because I feel like the shorts are always where I run into trouble, because a lot of times they won't be streaming or they're not able to purchase anywhere. So I'm like, well, I like, how am I going to
I would
watch
like
this?
to see them, please.
Right.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Or like they're not available until after the Oscars.
How exactly? And it's like, well, that was missed your window.
That was the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have how far is the closest theater to you?
So it depends which type of theater I want to go to. I usually
don't dox yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm an AMC Stubs member.
Okay.
I say that very proudly. So I usually go to AMC, and the closest one to me, if I don't take the freeway, is about a half-hour drive. Near it's in one of the last remaining still active malls in our area. So I'll usually go to that.
There's not an AMC close enough for me based on other theaters around for that to make sense at this moment in time. But I guess the nearest chain is a Regal, and that's $17 a ticket. I stick with my fun little local chain that on a regular day it's $12, and then on a cheap day it's $6. So
okay. Do you get do you shell out for popcorn, or do you bring stuff from home?
At the theater that I like, there is a little bargain combo, and you get a little bag of popcorn, and you get an 8-ounce drink. Okay, and it's perfect.
Well, that's
and it's
perfect.
$7.50. I love this place. I went with Hillary last time, and she just pulled out a seltzer from her coat. They don't really care. I was like, that's really smart.
No.
But yeah, that's where I would go to see Rocky Horror and things like that. It's a really fun local theater chain.
Yeah, we've got some cute little old local ones near us. That thankfully, during the pandemic, it was looking kind of shaky for a while, but they were able to pull through, and they're all kind of owned by the same theater group. Actually, it's the same group that does the Milwaukee Film Festival. And so every year when they do the film festival, you can bounce around the different little rep theaters and watch whatever they're screening. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
I can never make it work with my schedule for it to be worth the price of the ticket. Unfortunately, I would love to do it one year.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. And then in terms of Thorns, I don't know. There wasn't too much that I was disappointed about this year.
Was there anything that you wish had gotten in and didn't?
I didn't necessarily want this to get in, but I was surprised that Wicked did not get a single nomination, because I mean they were, especially for Best Original Song or whatever, the two that they added were explicitly because they wanted an Oscar nomination. So I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm a big Stephen Schwartz girl, but I think everyone knew that those were not his best works, even though No Place Like Home it's catchy. I don't think it's like great, but it is catchy. But I guess I can't say I'm displeased with the fact that A Cash Grab did not get nominated. I am happy that it worked out that way, and like we don't have to talk about Wicked anymore. And that's a musical I love. I just don't love the movies.
No, that's totally fair. And yeah, I think that's a great point. It is nice sometimes when they're so blatant about something and then it just completely backfires. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they made millions and millions, if not billions of dollars on that movie. But a little bit of Schadenfreude,
like a little bit. Like,
Well, let's hear your thorn. And
I have two.
Okay, I'm sure I know what one is.
So I'll go with my first thorn is that Amanda Seyfried was not nominated for The Testament of Anne Lee. It wasn't going to happen. Yeah. And it's just the way that they rolled out that movie. And marketing wasn't behind it. And that sucks because she's really great. And I think she really, like, that movie it's her. Like, she's amazing. And I think the score is great. I think an original song could have gone in there. Actually, I don't know about, like, I don't know how it works with, like, the repurposed Shaker hymns, how much of that was actually within the piece and how that works within the rules. But for score, it would have been great. But my big thorn is that F1 was nominated for Best Picture. What are we doing?
Yeah. Insanity.
I'm sure no one's listening to this who doesn't know me at this point, but I am a big Formula One fan, and I feel like the movie was a disgrace to the sport. And I'll leave it at that.
Mic drop. I feel like every year there's at least one nominee in Best Picture where it's like, really? Like,
how'd you get here?
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, you get 10 nominations. We're going to use one of them on that. Like, really? There weren't any other movies that could have earned that,
Yeah.
I still have not seen F1. It's not particularly high on my list. There's a lot of other ones that I'll be getting to before that one. I did love Top Gun Maverick. So
I love Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
That's an easy 5-star movie for me. So great.
Absolutely.
But also I'm not invested in the military industrial complex. Like, I'm not
sure. Yeah.
Like, F1 is something I care very deeply about. And this movie is also very misogynistic on top of things. Everything else. There's just a lot of sexism going on.
Okay. Yeah. I knew that. I knew that was going to be the other one.
I had my little moment in the Discord list today, and then I said, okay, I'm done. Well, and then I did not go back to work like I said I was, but I dropped the F1 stuff.
Yeah. That feels like a big dad movie. Like, and in the same, and
I like dad movies, but yeah, you're right. It's very, like, of that genre.
Which, there's a market for that sort of thing, but it doesn't mean that it has to be nominated for Best Picture.
Correct.
Right. Well, speaking of movies that weren't nominated and maybe shouldn't have been nominated, do we want to get into our movie for this episode?
Let's do it.
After a bank robbery goes wrong, career criminal Eddie decides the problem isn't the plan, it's people, especially his accomplices Sammy and Jojo, who readily admit to being a little dim. Rather than finding smarter partners, Eddie turns his eye to the animal kingdom. He trains 6 Doberman pinchers, all named after famous gangsters, to rob a bank payroll with military precision. To pull it off, he ropes in his girlfriend June, who quickly learns that she ranks below the dogs, and Barney, an ex-Air Force dog trainer who thinks he's starting a legit business and not creating 4-legged criminals. When the robbery works perfectly, Barney backs out to protect the dogs, and June, trying to land a larger share of the score, takes a risk of her own. In the end, the dogs vanish with the money, leaving the humans behind as the latest victims of the Doberman Gang.
We need like a dun 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 at the end of that or something. So it was directed by Byron Chudnow, and it was also produced by his dad, which I think is an interesting little fact. This is the first in a trilogy of Doberman-focused crime movies. This, obviously, Alan Silvestri did the score for this, why we're doing this. Yeah, we didn't know about this movie before doing this project, correct?
No, this is one that I had never ever heard of, like a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah. What were your first impressions of this piece?
Well, it's very of the time. Like, it's very
Yes. It's very 1972.
Yes, very 1972, and I mean that in the best way possible. I was looking into the director Byron Chudnow's background, and other than these Doberman movies, he really never directed anything else. And it looks like he got his start doing a lot of TV editing. So I'm not exactly sure. Like, I'm looking at his background. He edited some episodes of the 1960s Batman show. He did a lot of like Western cowboy shows, like the Lone Ranger, Maverick, that sort of thing. And then as you mentioned, his dad produced this. So I don't know if this was like a passion project for them and he roped his dad in, or if it was the other way around, like his dad was like, you know what we need is movies about the Doberman pinschers, and then like convinced his son to do it. I'm not sure which way that went.
The beginning did feel like an opening to a TV show. Like, there's moments that feel very like, there's an audio moment that feels like the Cheers theme song. There are moments that feel very TV in this, which I think is interesting, like knowing that that was his main job, was to edit TV shows, because I think a lot of that does come into this movie.
I think that really carries over into the score as well. My note that I wrote down while I was watching this is that you can tell that Silvestri was still kind of finding his footing, because a lot of the score sounded like an intro back from commercial from like the Mary Tyler Moore Show or something. Almost like a 90s sitcom.
Like transitional, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Just a lot of transitions thrown in there, not necessarily like a complete score, which I think makes sense because, you know, we mentioned this in our trailer episode. This was the very first time that he had ever done any sort of film composing. So he was just like learning on the fly. He said in an interview that it was even to the point where he was using just random things around his office or the garage. So he had like, he's scratching sandpaper or like he had empty beer cans filled with like bolts, and he's using that as percussion.
It does feel like he had a bag of auxiliary percussion. I mean, the one scene in later on in the bank that's entirely claves, just and then I don't know, how much do you know about percussion as like a musical subset?
Assume very little.
Okay, well, my favorite thing that he included was the vibra slap. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that I know of. I remember in music class in elementary school, everybody really liked to mess around with that one. That was one that I remember.
Yeah, I mean, they're quite
crazy little. You have one. Oh my god.
Yeah, my brother's a percussionist, so we have basically everything on hand. I liked the vibra slap. I liked the claves until the claves were a bit too much, and I was like, okay, we can find other ways to build tension, but it makes sense if that's something that you're just learning on the fly, because it's a pretty simple thing to just keep looping over and over again. Yeah, I just think he was learning a lot about how to accent moments within the movie, and sometimes it feels repetitive, but sometimes it works. I loved the little Barry sax moment. That was fun. I guess my only issue with the score is that some of these pieces feel referential to other things.
Yeah.
Or just a little bit similar to things. There's this one riff that sounds like the Octopus's Garden moment. Did you catch that? Like dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does it. He repeats that quite often throughout. Yeah. Oh, that's where I know that from. Yes.
There was also, this is not something you're going to know. Do you know the show Schmigadoon?
I know the concept of it. I've never seen any of it.
Okay, so Schmigadoon is a musical TV show. Basically, they are transported. The main character is played by Keegan-Michael Key and oh my god, Cecily Strong. They're transported to this musical land, like in Brigadoon, and everyone sings there. Whatever, that's not important. There's a song called "Corn Puddin'," and there is a. And the little riff goes da dun da dun da dun 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 dun, and it sounded sort of like what was happening a little bit in Doberman Gang. Obviously, this was made decades before that, but it was just interesting how like things repeat itself.
It's catchy though. I mean, I've had that little riff stuck in my head since I watched this for a second time. Like I'll just be doing laundry and I just think to myself, it is very catchy. And I think part of that, going back to the learning on the fly thing, they're also, I mean, this was a very low budget indie film. Mm-hmm. He was given just a couple of days to lay down these tracks.
God, I can't imagine. Yeah.
Right. And he's learning on the fly. He does not know what he's doing. He didn't have final cut authority. So he's basically, I think he just laid down the whole thing with a couple other guys, other jazz musicians.
Yeah.
And then just like handed it off to him and like, okay, do what you want. And they also did not have a dedicated music editor on this movie.
And that's so tough because there's nothing, you can't make it cohesive. There's nothing to bring it all together.
Right. So I think that might be why they repeated things so often is because they're like, okay, well, we got to fill this space somehow. Like throw in that little riff again, or like, in the finale, okay, we need to build some tension. What do we have? Well, we've got scratching. Can we use the scratching?
I think the scratching plus the claves could be a torture method. I think that on a loop, you're losing your mind. Something is not like it's all over.
And it's a very interesting portion of the movie because we're inside the bank. It's just the dogs, so there's no dialogue, and so then all you're hearing is the scratching.
Yeah. It's a bit much.
Friend of the show, Justin, who watched this movie with us and tagged it Sounds of Silvestri, he pointed this out in his review, talking about the score in general. He said it was the kind of shit that makes you want to crack a Coors Banquet and drive the Trans Am through a back alley filled with cardboard boxes.
That's very visceral, yeah.
He goes on to say, probably my favorite piece of the score is the tense scratching during the finale. So there you go. It was
notable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about the main theme with the very innovative lyrics? Arf, arf, arf.
Listeners should remember this guy's name. The lyrics for that song, as well as Someone, which is I refer to as the love theme of the Doberman Gang. The lyrics were written by Bradford Craig. Mm-hmm. And that name will come up again in future episodes because he and Silvestri had a sort of a partnership for a few years there. He was the one who got Silvestri the job. And you wouldn't know it from the lyrics of the theme song to this movie, but he was a quite accomplished lyricist.
They were the doggonest gang that a man did ever see. All of them were animals, just like you and me. A breed unto themselves, to match them there were none. Famous both as man's best friend, public enemy number one.
The year before this movie came out, he received a Golden Globe nomination for his work with Quincy Jones on the movie Honky. He didn't win, but So I'm thinking maybe that's why they initially reached out to him for this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they saw his nomination and they thought, okay, well, he's a music guy. He can do composing. And he couldn't. And he's the one singing the song, which what do you think about his musical abilities, his vocal vocal
the
abilities
word
there?
I used in my notes was serviceable. It's fine. It's not great. It's not awful. It's getting the job done.
He's not necessarily matching the rhythm of the music with his lyrics.
No, and that you could say is interpretive.
Yeah.
And something that maybe having a music editor or supervisor would clean up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And doing more than one take on the song, possibly.
It's okay to work on things, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is very common with the movies from this era, is that they always had like a very hyper-specific theme song that they would drop in. And looking at some of Bradford Craig's other projects, it seems like that's really his niche. Like he's doing hyper-specific...
Hyper-specific lyricism? Okay.
Yes. So that's something to keep an eye on as we move forward. I don't want to give away the movie that we're doing next week just yet, but I did watch the trailer for it, and the theme song for that movie is quite similar in that it's basically just saying, this is who it's about, this is what's going to happen,
this is where we are.
Yes, we're not going to get too clever with it, but I think serviceable is the perfect description of that theme. I don't know, what were your thoughts? I mean, you mentioned he does say arf arf arf. Yes. Yeah,
I think it's fine. It's not really what I want to listen to necessarily, but it does a good job. I just think that the times where we have songs, those were used improperly, I guess, in terms of like filmmaking as a whole.
Yeah.
I think that especially for the love theme, we're not getting any emotional character depth in any part of that song. It's just it's just moment. Nothing's happening. We're getting a kissing scene, and I was going to ask, is that kissing scene better or worse than Top Gun?
I'm going to say worse because I don't think there was any need for it. I think it comes very out of the blue. And this kind of leads me into one of my major points, which was, who is this movie for? Because the tone is all over the place. Like it was marketed as like family entertainment, and then all of a sudden you've got not like an explicit sex scenes, but it cuts to clothes on the floor and like them, embracing in bed. So it's like, I don't understand it. Why is there a sex scene in my dog bank robbery movie?
Yes, my dog crime movie.
Right, right.
And it's just the way that that's also filmed. Like the lips are lingering. They are outstretched. Yeah. It's like we are making a moment of this in a way that doesn't make any sense for the intended audience of this film. I don't know if it's not even like something like, let's throw that in for the adults. That's not really like what's happening there. It's just, I just think the scenes in the song, they're all nothing burgers. Every song moment, all the scenes are just, why are you here? What are we learning? Nothing.
There were a lot of things that I felt that way about. Like, I'm thinking about the bank robbery at the end when the security guard goes to pull his gun and one of the dogs attacks him. Like, there's a lot of blood in that scene.
Yeah. The ketchup blood was actually unsettling. I was like, oh, I actually don't like this.
Right. It's like that. I thought this was supposed to be. And then, like you said, then it's for the training montages, you have this really like weird, upbeat, kind of corny song. So it's like,
into a patriotic, triumphant moment. That's the part that really didn't work for me. The bouncy theme into like rah 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 America, it felt like almost like we gotta be, but then you could still hear the underscoring of the bouncy theme, and it's like they're not meshing.
No, again, it goes back to no music editor, just filming this direction on the fly.
Yeah,
no, they're just throwing in whatever works. They're trying to fill the time, which I think is it's a tough look when your movie is only 86 minutes long and it's so obvious that you're trying to fill time.
Fill time, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if this could have been like a TV pilot.
Yes,
that would
I
have
could
gone
see that.
farther.
I could see that. I would be shocked if there wasn't some discussion about turning this into a TV series.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like, I mean, especially in the 70s, it seems like this is the sort of thing that TV audiences would have just completely ate up.
And they had enough material to make 2 more movies. So there was
three.
obviously...
Three. They did one in the 80s too, yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So obviously there was more there. And I want to say in my research maybe one was broadcast on TV in the late 70s, like maybe intending to be a pilot, but I don't know why you don't just start with this one as the pilot. But do we want to get to like the stars of the show, talk about the dogs?
Yes, that is, the dogs are my major point. I read that this was the first movie to be certified by the American Humane Association. And people will know them as the group who provides the little no animals were harmed in the making of this film. So this was the very first time that a movie ever got that certification. And I think it's really fitting because the dogs were kind of running the show. And I don't mean just in terms of like the plot.
You mean in terms of production?
Yes, exactly. In terms of production. It was like the schedule was built entirely around the dogs' abilities, their mood for that day. And also I read that...
That's insane.
Yeah, like if the dogs were not feeling it, it's like, well, I guess we'll shoot something else without the dogs.
Oh my God.
And I read that the animal handlers had de facto veto power on set.
Whoa.
For like some of the stunts and stuff. If there was something that they were planning on shooting and the animal handlers were like, we're just not comfortable with the dogs doing that, they would just completely scrap it. Like they would move on to something else.
Because I was wondering while watching, like they do a lot of things with those dogs and a lot of different training. And I was like, how well are they trained? How much is this improv? But I'm glad that it seems that a lot of it was just prior training and a lot of it because they are all around people constantly. There's so many of them. Yes. They're being trained to attack in the movie. So you have to have as like the trainer, the discipline to be like, this is the movie moment. This is the real life, like actual moment. So that's hard. I would assume, I guess I don't know, but yeah.
Well, it gets very meta, and I'm sure that was a difficult thing to film. It's like if you have a highly trained dog and then you have to have it act like it's not well trained, like that must be
also act like it's becoming a very like trained attack. Yeah.
Right.
And because they're using whistles, I'm just like, how does that come into play? Like in real life? Right. I thought it was also interesting that they get all of the dogs at the same time. Would you not get one at a time or two at a time? But to get all 6/7 dogs, that feels like a risk. But I guess they're not really thinking things through.
Yeah, I mean they kind of just hand wave it. It's a single line of dialogue where Barney the trainer has put together the whole thing. He's finally realized what he's being used for, and he says, "Well, you stole the dogs," and I'm like, would never have put that together.
Me either.
Like, how are they? Where are they
From
stealing
where?
6? Right, and like these are hardcore dogs. Like you're not just gonna.
It might be like 8-month-old Doberman pinchers, like crazy.
Just tossed in the back
their
of their
ears
van.
are already what's that word? Is it cropped? What they call with their ears when they prick them up? Like the ears are already done. So like where does that like an owner has to do that, like, or like that has to be a procedure that is carried out. So you can't just buy a Doberman or steal a Doberman with their ears pricked unless it's that someone that cares about them. Yeah.
Right. They did not have time for that, but they did have time for 2 separate dog training montages.
We also had time to hear a dentures ad as well in the beginning. Do you remember that? Just a crazy little stupid moment.
Yeah. Oh yes, when he's feeling sad about his accomplices being idiots, and he
was he
watches
feeling
TV.
sad? I couldn't tell. I mean,
well, I think that's another point going into the dogs, and I know that when we were talking about this, I know that you had some issues with some of the acting choices, and what I read is that Well, I think there were two things that kind of led into the acting not being great. The first point was a lot of these actors were chosen because of their comfort level with dogs, acting with dogs.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was because they were trained dogs, they were in a lot of the scenes, the human performances were deliberately restrained so that the dogs wouldn't get overexcited.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that I think that
permeated
affects
the whole. Yeah.
Right. It affects the emotion of the scene. And I guess, I mean, even in the scenes without the dogs, they're still pretty
low-key.
Mellow. Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how would you from day to day, I'm not an actor, but I'm sure that would be difficult to say, okay, well now, to switch that up. Our friend Dave, who also watched this, put in his review, the seriousness of the acting, considering the silliness of the premise, slow clap of approval. So Dave actually liked the acting choices. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe it's more for me, the character development or lack thereof. I think especially is the main guy's name Eddie? Is that the character's name?
Yes.
We only hear it a couple times. He didn't know what Dobermans were. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. He has to go on a little fact-finding mission to figure out which dog he actually wants. I thought that was interesting.
He goes to the local pet store. And this is one minor note that I had. Monkey in a pet store. No explanation for it.
Nope. Just something that's allowed to happen, I guess.
Yep. Those were the 70s. And then he's talking to the guy because he had seen some Doberman. Is Dobermans or Dobermen? Dobermans? Dobies?
Doberman pinchers. Dobies, Is it like attorneys general is what I'm trying to figure out.
He had seen
some Doberman I don't know.
Yeah. He had seen those dogs at a junkyard and he went to the pet store and he's like, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And the guy tells him, oh, those are Dobies. This is another point that I wrote down, which maybe this was just how things were in the 70s and are not anymore. But the guy tells him that there are multiple security businesses in town, all specializing in dogs.
Yes.
And this is not a large town. Like they make a point of saying this is small we used to be a proper country
where dogs would discard everything.
Yeah, when they had the economy was enough that they could have multiple businesses specializing in security dogs.
In guard dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that all the dogs are named after criminals, or the bulldog is named after J. Edgar Hoover.
Yes.
Thought that was hilarious. I think that's a crazy plot point that the Air Force, I guess the airmen that they're trying to recruit.
Yeah.
His dog died after being blown up by a mine. Like that's just a plot
Vietnam,
point.
In
Vietnam.
Yeah. Yes, the dog sacrificed itself. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they breeze past it.
Yeah, just a drop in the bucket. I want to know what Barney really thought was happening. Because like we're obviously training the dogs to be attack dogs. And it's not like Eddie and the gang have other jobs. Like this is all that they're focusing on for this period of time. And I just don't know how he wasn't clued in earlier.
I think we should talk about Eddie a little bit.
Okay.
Because he's not, I mean, we talked about how Sammy and JoJo are not the brightest bulbs, but Eddie is not that far beyond them because...
Yeah, I think he gives himself too much credit.
Well, he calls himself a genius multiple times.
Yeah, incorrect.
Which is never a good look.
Factually inaccurate.
But yeah, you're right. He names all the dogs after famous bank robbers and expects Barney not to put the dots together.
I guess in all fairness, Barney doesn't. He doesn't put the dots. He doesn't put them together.
Until he stumbles upon their
scale
recreation of the inside of a bank.
Yeah, with like people like cutouts. Like they have like paper giant cutouts of people, paper cutouts. Like
it just seems like
there's a lot of production value into the mock bank.
Yes, and it's such Eddie puts so much into this when the solution to me seems very obvious. Just hire smarter guys to work with.
Yeah, but then they might take the money from him.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know why you just don't go in with a bunch of dogs and the dogs are menacing there and then you just ask for the money. Like
right.
the whole...
On a leash.
Yes. The whole thing where one of the dogs has to get up on its hind legs and deliver the scroll. Eddie was very particular about that. He was like, I need it to be standing up. It cannot be. And Barney's like, I don't know if we can do that. He's like, no, actually, that has to be the way. It's not going to work if that's not the case.
The exact quote is, the broad won't take it if he's not up on his hind legs.
Yeah. I think the dog who does that part is very adorable when he gently releases the scroll. Yes. It's very cute. It's very much like, it's like someone give him a treat, right? He did a good job. I do feel like the way that they played out that bank scene, like as a person in the bank, it would be like the worst Taskmaster challenge. Do you know, like there's very specific instructions you have to follow within a time period, but no one's there to help you, and they're very like demanding. I don't know, it's just a very interesting way of demanding money, I guess. And they all have to be in their specific saddlebags, enough for the dogs to carry, but not too much that they can't carry it.
Right.
And all has to be doled out.
What is it, 50,000 in each saddlebag?
Each saddlebag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I didn't do. A lot of times when I'm watching old movies and they mention any sum of money, I'll put it in an inflation calculator.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for this movie, but I mean, they're trying to steal a lot of money even back then. I guess
it's fine because no one gets the money in the end. We don't need to know how much it was because no one retrieves it.
Right. The dogs get it. Yeah.
Good for them. They can form their own society.
Honestly, they've earned it. I mean,
they really have.
Yeah. They had to do, I mean, they did all the hard work, and one of them died, which is very sad.
Yes, I don't know which one died. I don't know if you got the name, but I felt it got hit by a car.
Yes.
And the other one, the one that came after it barely like spared at a glance. It was like, oh no, and then grabbed the saddlebag and left.
Yeah, that's, again, weird tone, because one of the dogs gets hit by a car, and then maybe 2 minutes after, one of the other dogs jumps a fence because he's found a girlfriend dog, apparently.
Sure.
So it's like, it's from one extreme to the other. It's just, there's no...
And we don't linger in the sadness either.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
I think my big issue with this movie is that there's no conflict. For a movie about crime and, like things changing and people dying and, getting attacked, there is no conflict. And that's just how it is.
Yeah. They try a little bit, but it's just that I think it comes back to the acting choices, because there's at a certain point after Barney, the trainer, has figured out what's going on and he's on board, he's like, well, I'm doing all the work. I want half. Like, I'm not just getting an even split. I want half. And Sammy and JoJo are, essentially saying that they're going to kill him if he asks for half, but they're so unmenacing about it. Like, that could have been a point of real tension. They're like, if you ask for half, we're going to do our specialty on you, like heavily implying that we are going to kill you. But it just completely falls flat. Like, there is no, like you said, there's no conflict there.
I think the tension can be shown through the one interaction that Eddie has with the person whose barn he's trying to buy, where he goes, where the guy offers it up and he goes, $750 a month, 12-month lease. Eddie goes, $400 a month, 3-month lease. And the guy's like, you talked me into it.
Yeah.
Shake on it. And it's like, what? Nothing happened. Yeah.
And that's the balls to undercut somebody to that extent too.
That drastically?
Yeah. Right. Like, a year lease? No, 3 months. 3 months is the most I'm doing.
And does that mean that this movie only takes place over 3 months or less than 3 months? Because
they're doing a lot
to train those dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. The plan that Eddie has to go to is insane. Like, to recap, he has to case a bank, hire a dog trainer, find a rental property with enough room to train and room for a full mock-up of the bank.
And far away from other people.
Right. Half a mile away from the nearest neighbor. Steal 6 dogs. Secure an empty office building that has a perfect sight line into the bank so that they can see what the dogs are doing. Train the dogs via a series of whistles to execute the heist and get back home.
Color-coordinated whistles. So where are those coming from? Who knows?
then create, when they're doing their test run, they realize that somebody's closed the drapes and they can't see into it. So then they have to create a fake drapery service to go into the bank to preserve their visibility, execute the robbery flawlessly with no police interference, make sure that nobody follows the dogs after they leave the bank, and hope that at no point the dogs turn on any of them.
Yeah, you forgot the moment where they are talking about the Doberman's weaknesses, and then they have to go back to the hardware store and get wood nails, roofing nails, and stick them in the collars. Yeah.
Yes. So that nobody grabs their throat. Yes.
Which, like, who would ever think to do that? I mean, no. I guess if you're very involved in dog training, maybe you're like, okay, this is my only chance. Let's go this way and grab their throat. But no one else is putting their hand that close to a dog's mouth.
No. I mean, they're growling, they're baring their teeth. I'm gonna be stepping away. Like, I'm not interfering. Like in the vestibule. I'm not a hero.
Yeah, like I'm like, they can't get to me, I can't get to them. Yeah,
exactly.
And they can jump. They were doing agility challenges, so they can leap pretty high. Yeah. My favorite moment in the training was when the bulldog hit the bar.
Oh my god. They don't play it up as much in the movie, but I watched the trailer, and that clip is in the trailer, and they add like a dog whining. Thunk. Yeah, like a big thunk. Yeah. Oh, I felt so bad for that bulldog. It just got me
so off guard because like everything else is very serious, and then it's just like
just bonk. Yeah. Speaking of the tone, I have one more review quote here from our friend Joe Jazzy, and we love Joe. The way that he put it was, felt like a mix of opposing tones, where some moments it feels like a silly family film of the 70s, and others it turns into a pretty violent heist film.
Who gets attacked they're in like the attack suit or whatever, and I feel like that goes down not so well, and then like everything in the bank doesn't go down really well, and then the dog dies, and then they come back and they attack. Basically at the end is Barney has left, and then Eddie sort of dips early so that he can't get caught, and then June has all the whistles, and she basically controls the dogs and has them attack Eddie and the gang. And they're like, they're not doing well. There's a lot of blood. No, they are, a lot of
Sammy and JoJo are torn open,
apart. Yeah. It's pretty gruesome. It's supposed to be PG.
Right.
The Doberman Gang. Exciting family entertainment. Rated PG.
Yeah, I mean, that's movies in the 70s is without the PG-13. I mean, I don't know what the standard was, but yeah, there's a lot of blood and violence for a movie that is also very, very silly. I don't know if it was Sammy or JoJo. I've seen this movie twice now, and I don't know who is who. But he's like grabbing at his throat.
Yes.
So it's like he's done. He's dead.
It's just a very intense moment for what should be a family movie, in theory, I guess.
In theory, yeah. Yeah.
No way the whistles can be heard through the glass, right?
I don't know much about dogs, but I don't think that's how it works. Yeah.
Because it's like they're up so many floors, there's a pane of glass, and then the dogs are inside the bank.
Right. So another pane of glass.
Yeah.
Plus whatever else is going on inside the bank, however that's affected. Yeah. There's just... Yeah. That's the thing, is they show so much of the training, but they gloss over, I feel like, the dog whistle part, where we see him blowing it, but we don't see... Like, it's got to be a number of different whistle cues, but he just does it once, and they're doing all these different things.
And we can't hear them. That's the whole thing. So they don't have to explain them because we can't hear them.
Right.
But sure, whatever. But yeah, it's like there's a lot sort of glossed over, and we're supposed to take as fact. And it's like, well, I don't really know what's happening because you didn't take time to explain it in a way that like adds tension or like raises the stakes or whatever.
What did you think of Eddie's, I don't want to call it character development, because he doesn't really, I mean, he starts as kind of an asshole and just sort of continues throughout the movie.
To be an asshole, yeah.
Right. What did you think of his relationship with June throughout the movie?
I think it's pretty par for the course for that time. It's frustrating, obviously. June does a lot of the work, so much work, both with training the dogs and like general like housekeeping, and she's cooking them meals, and then she's expected to not want to take any of the money. Right. And he's like, I'll take care of you. And it's like, well, no, you're not, because you already aren't. And I understand, like, she thought this was her way out from working as a waitress. Like, she didn't want to do that anymore. This could be a change. But I think she loved him and he didn't really care about her. Yeah. And that's frustrating to see. Not unsurprising. But also, like, June, what are you doing? That man with that haircut? No, you can do so much better.
That
You're
haircut.
so much better than him.
The fashion.
Go with Barney.
Yeah, Barney, exactly. I mean, that was another note that I had. Why is there a love triangle in my dog bank robbery
and
movie?
Like and they're all aware of it as well. It's not like it's hidden. It like comes out on the table, and then is that when he slaps her? Then it's this whole thing.
Yeah, what I wrote down was Eddie slapped June and called her a dog. I hope he dies at the end. That was my exact note. And
well, you know, close to what you wished.
Yeah, maybe he did. Yeah. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was so ready for June's heel turn at the end, and I'm a little bit mad that the dogs became lawless. I'm like mad at them for that. Like, God, like June had one thing going for her, and then the dogs messed it all up. But I understand they can't be contained.
They're they're the Doberman Gang. They answer to nobody.
Exactly. How do you think J. Edgar, the bulldog, fits within that gang?
You know what? Can we ever really know the relationship between dogs?
You're so right, Clarence. Who are we to try and ascertain that?
Right. It's beyond me. But I mean, he, from the very beginning when J. Edgar comes on the scene, I don't think he gets a lot of respect because he wasn't meant to be there. He wasn't meant to be there. So I think he's like, you know, if I'm really getting into the psychology of J. Edgar, the bulldog, I'm thinking he's like, well, you know what? If you aren't going to respect me, then I'm taking over. I'm leading this gang, and we're going to take this $500,000 and go do whatever.
Yeah, I feel like he's either dopey or he's Doc, from like in terms of like the Seven Dwarfs. Like, there's no in between. He's either the dumbest one there or the leader.
Yeah. Well, why are they trying to train him as well? Why are they putting him through the motions
to give
training?
June something to do? It sort of feels like that's sort of the answer.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, talking about the ending, I read some theories that it's like an ambiguous ending where some people were hypothesizing that maybe Barney has a separate whistle. And so he's like calling them.
Oh.
And like, so he's getting the money all for himself because he does leave. And he was
he would know what
training.
To do. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's interesting.
We won't be covering the sequel to this movie because for some reason Silvestri was not hired for that one. But sure. I did look at the plot synopsis, and they do not explain the ending of this movie, and we never see any of these characters again other than the dogs.
So maybe that is true. Maybe the dogs dump the money with them, and then they go on to live their life of crime.
Yeah. to greater exploits. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Eddie's haircut, and I wanted to talk about the general 1970s-ness of this movie, because this is a pet peeve that I have with period pieces from the 60s and 70s, is that I'm thinking specifically, recently I watched The First Omen, which is like a prequel to The Omen, and it takes place in the 60s, 70s.
I don't know what The Omen is.
Okay. You would hate it. I feel like you would hate it.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that comment. Yeah. Is it just like a paranormal horror movie or situation? Is that the
kind
idea?
of. It's essentially The Omen is it's sort of like birthed the Antichrist child subgenre. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the First Omen came out a couple years ago, and it takes place in the 60s, 70s, and everybody is beautiful and everybody is very fashionable. And this bothers me about period pieces because, as we can see in this movie, which came out in the 70s, that was not the case. Like, people were ugly. People were not fashionable.
Well, and I hate when colors are made brighter than they would be. Like, I think this was a good example. I don't know who one of the guys wears like a patterned shirt, and it's not like overbearingly bright. It's just a little bit orange and a little bit brown, and like that makes a lot of sense. I think my favorite outfit was Eddie's rhinestone shirt, the rhinestone collar.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He loves that shirt too.
Yeah, he does. It was just, it felt both very out of place, but also very in the moment. 2000s, like pop girl core almost.
Yeah. I think you could go to any thrift store right now and find that shirt going for like $50.
It'd be in the adult small women's section. That's where it would be.
Exactly.
I think June had some fun outfits. I think she looks the most put together.
Yes. Which makes sense.
Yes. I think Barney, like part of it, he's wearing his Air Force uniform. Part of it, he's just wearing, slacks and a button up or whatever. So that's not hard. But yeah, I think it feels period appropriate because it's made in that time. So it doesn't have to adhere to like a perceived standard.
And I mean, they look like normal people. Like they look like, I mean, we talked about Eddie's haircut. Speaking as a prematurely balding person, he's doing this thing that a lot of us will do when we don't want to accept that we're going bald, where he combs everything forward. And we think that that's fooling anybody.
Well, and he has really flat hair in the first place, so there's no extra volume. It's all just sort of plastered onto his head, which is what would happen to me if I cut all my hair off because my hair is very flat. That would just be the same kind of vibe. I think recently in the last couple of years, celebrities have become very not identical, but there are some procedures that are happening where makes them look more like each other and less like real people. And so it's always refreshing to see real people on screen and people who haven't had anything altered, whether for good or for bad. I mean, it just like these are regular people and they're working, I guess, in Hollywood. I really don't know what happened to many of them after this, but they're just a regular actor, and I think that's nice to just see on screen.
I don't know when we started to lose that. It must have, it had to have been, within the past 20 or 30 years, but I think you're right. It's like this sort of homogenizing.
Yes, and there's like a standard we need to adhere to.
Yes.
And
everybody has the toilet teeth, everybody,
and everyone, you have to look like that to be called beautiful. And and we're just like lacking a lot of like natural beauty, I think. And just like uniqueness. Like I think I don't love Sean Penn as an actor, but he looks like a real guy. He looks like a real guy who's aging, and that's chill. And even like Leo, like maybe he's had some work done, but I feel like he looks like he's 40 something or whatever.
Right. Just he's not trying to maintain how he looked when he first got on the scene.
And I really respect actresses who are doing that. I think Kate Winslet's been very outspoken about that, and Rachel McAdams has as well. And Amanda Seyfried. Like I think those are three women I think are pretty upfront about that they're aging, and that happens, and people get wrinkles, and it's okay. And basically the whole it's a privilege to be able to age, things like that.
Yes, I would love to see sort of the pendulum swing back in that direction, where we start having people who just look like ordinary people in movies again. And I think you see that not necessarily in like the huge budget films, but in more of like the independent type stuff. You see it because, that's what they have to work with. Or, I think at a certain point, if an actor or an actress gets big enough, then they feel comfortable doing that. So I'm thinking of, for example, when I saw Marty Supreme recently, they have on Timothée Chalamet, they put on like fake acne scars. And then some of the other supporting actors have like bad hair or like, receding hairlines or like visible acne. And it's stuff like that. It's just like little details that really add depth to a movie, and it makes it feel like a real person.
Because there's not a veneer over all of it.
Exactly. Not a veneer, and they're not wearing veneers either.
Exactly.
Which is
yeah, I think that might be the biggest thing, people like not having their natural teeth anymore, because like it's hard to fit a smile that's not made for you. Do you know what I mean? Like we all have our teeth and they are part of us, like that is a very distinct thing, part of your appearance. And I think when everyone's teeth look the same, and sometimes some of the celebrities, it doesn't look like they're like, it looks like the teeth were not made for their mouth, or their mouth is too big or too small, and it just doesn't fit. Literally does not fit in their mouth.
Yeah.
And then to like ruin your teeth for that terrifies me.
I don't think people realize, all that goes into that procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not something where you can just change your mind with it. Like
No,
your natural
you, like,
teeth are filed down. Yeah. It's nasty to think about.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have very strong thoughts about teeth. And I wouldn't want to whittle my teeth down.
No.
I mean, my teeth, like, I have pretty big front teeth at a certain point. And when I was a kid, like, they did, like, file them down to make them smaller. But that wasn't, like, a big cosmetic overhaul. That was just, like, I've had braces. There are things to make your teeth, like, make you feel more confident with your teeth that you have. And that's totally fine, obviously. But to, like, whittle your teeth down to little pegs, I guess, to then stick a cap on, crazy. And, that would hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand it for people who, are deeply insecure about their teeth, or if it is, like a genuine like medical thing. But I've seen people who have perfectly fine teeth just opting to get the procedure, and it's like at a young age too. It's like I don't think you understand. Like you have to the maintenance that's going to come with that.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Right. Well, I had something, last year I had to get some dental work done. I had some teeth removed and they put in implants. And when they're showing you the implants, they gave me a choice of 3 different tints. And so kind of the way that I describe the different ones is there's bright white, which is like porcelain, like brand new. Then they have the middle option, which was like lightly used. And then the third one is like smoked for 50 years.
There's no in between.
No, there's no in between. So I went with the middle option. Yeah. And even that is like, it's still like, we could have gone like, I'm honest. Like I know my teeth are not like super bright.
Yeah.
I was like, you probably could have gone a little more yellow with this.
Yeah. We could have tainted that a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. But it seems that's the trend, is like the bright
they're so
porcelain.
White.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's bad to like want your teeth to be brighter, but I think when it's all of your teeth so drastically, it's terrifying. Did you have wisdom teeth?
I did have one wisdom tooth removed, but no, this was the procedure that I had done was because I had 2 baby teeth where there was no adult tooth underneath.
Wow.
So I had these for the longest time. Like for years and years, they had been saying like, we should probably get these removed eventually. And I would always put it off because I had read that like theoretically they could have stayed in my mouth without there being any issue for like years to come. But they started to notice like I was getting some cavities on the bottom one. And they just said like, what, like we're not going to do a filling on something that's going to eventually fall out.
Yeah. Well, it's a weaker tooth in the first place. Yeah.
Exactly. And it looked really silly because you've got like, the adult teeth and then it dips down to this much smaller tooth. So I got those replaced last year and that was a whole ordeal. Yeah.
My favorite 2 truths and a lie thing for myself personally is that I had 6 wisdom teeth.
Oh my God.
That always shocks people. But I had to go all the way under for that, which is fine. I love a little anesthesia nap. Had a lot of those. It's a good time.
I've never been put under. They didn't even, when I had my dental procedure, I was disappointed. I was like, I thought you were going to put me under, but it was just local anesthesia.
Oh, I would very much want to be put under for any dental work. Yeah. I mean, obviously not. Cavity fillings are one thing, but I would be.
No,
can you imagine?
Put me fully under. Yeah.
Yeah, knock me out.
Yeah.
No. I've had a lot of like GI things, so I've had to have a lot of endoscopies, and they're quick. They're like half an hour, but I was really lucky. We were able to pay one anesthesia bill. I had my wisdom teeth out and my endoscopy in the same time. Like one doctor came in after the other, and it was like this is what synergy is supposed to be. We're supposed to work togetger.
It's efficient. You're like, can you take out my appendix while we're here too?
Yeah, just
like
might
what
as
else
well,
can we
right?
get done? Yeah.
Honestly, if something's gonna go, it's probably that next. Already missing my gallbladder, so I mean,
oh my God, yeah,
that's already gone.
Just get it out of there.
Yeah, but that's my favorite 2 truths and a lie is that I had 6 wisdom teeth.
Yeah, I've only had the one, and it was already impacted, so they didn't really have to do much with it. Thankfully,
I was lucky. They caught mine pretty young because I used to have braces, right? So I'm doing X-rays all the time. So they were like, "Heads up, you're gonna need to see someone specific for this."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I didn't have any other major points. I had a couple of just minor notes that I took of like stuff that I thought was pretty crazy. One of them, the line, "Dobies were the real killers in Germany." Insane
Crazy.
thing to say.
Insane. And that comes because, is that the airman? Is that like during his stuff about training the German Shepherds, or was that?
Yeah, he's saying,
right?
"I've only ever done Shepherds," and Eddie goes, "Well, Dobies were the real killers in Germany." It's like, okay, sure.
Wow.
Another one I had was exiting a plane straight onto the tarmac. Can't do it anymore.
So of its time.
Yeah, those were the days. I got to do that. I've had the opportunity to do that twice when I've been flying into an airport that was doing renovations. Actually, when I flew into Philly this past summer for the 70mm meetup, they let us out straight onto the tarmac, which was really cool. It always makes me feel like a celebrity.
I've only done it, I guess, probably in Europe. I think one of the German airports, it was like tram to plane, and then when you got off the plane, it was like plane to another tram to the terminal or whatever. But yeah, it is a crazy feeling. Yeah.
And then the last note, this was like a blink and you'll miss it thing, but in the beginning when Eddie is like walking around feeling sorry for himself, he walks past a movie theater, and they're on the marquee, they're advertising The Lawman featuring Burt Lancaster.
My guy.
I know you're doing your Burt Lancaster journey. So that made me think of you.
Don't say I never prepare, because I did watch this movie when I saw it. So I was like, I gotta watch the movie, and it's fine. It's actually a really interesting moral quandary Western. I'm not really a Western person, but it's about like people, they accidentally kill someone, and like how culpable should they be, and like who is the one who's actually laying down the law in this town. A lot of things happen in it. It's pretty good. But yeah, I saw that and I took a picture of, and I was like, gotta watch that.
Good. I'm glad you caught that.
But thank you for noting that for me, because that's a very important thing.
Yes. How many Lancaster movies are you on now in your what's the name of that journey? What do you call that one?
Ladies Who Lank. It's based on Ladies Who Lunch from the Sondheim.
Yes, of course.
For those who don't know, this will be my 13th Burt Lancaster film.
Okay.
Since, God, when did I start this? Like December? I had a lot of time.
Putting in the work.
Yeah, this is not one of the best ones, but still fun. It's. I'm not really a Western person, though. I don't know if you like Westerns. It
depends.
It takes a rare Western for me to really lock in.
I like kind of they call it revisionist Western, where it's not like the whole, okay, I might like that then. I'm sure, I'm sure it's on my watch list on Letterboxd. I would be very surprised.
It's not.
It's not. Wow. Of 10,000 films, it's not on my list.
No, the only people who want to watch it are Mitchell Bupré and this person, Emile. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll add that. Did you have any other major notes or minor little tidbits?
Major or minor? I thought the stuff about the guy, whatever, one of the Goonies, like wanting Tums a lot. That felt very. I thought he was going to have a heart attack. I thought that's how that was going to go. I thought there was going to be a slip up and he was going to literally die in front of us.
Yes. Well, he's very specific that it's not Tums. He wants Maalox.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't know what that is. So,
I'm guessing.
And he's drinking it straight out of the bottle too.
Shooting it back. We talked about how they weren't good crooks, but what happens at the beginning is that they put the tiniest little money bags in the wrong car. It's not. Then he's like, you've been so stupid. And then one guy said, he goes like, the schedule said get in the car, and it was just a very interesting line reading that he chose to do.
Get in the car, not in the trunk. Yeah.
I didn't know that Barney was a nickname for Bernard. I don't know where I've been, but that was a shock to me. A little fun fact.
I don't know if I knew that either.
Right? I was like, oh. So when Eddie goes into the bank with his arm in a cast, the only thing I could think of was that's how Leon Czolgosz shot McKinley. He wrapped his hand holding a gun, and he went to shake the president's hand and shot him point blank.
Wow.
That is, sorry, that's my knowledge that I bring to this
I didn't know
podcast.
That. I didn't know that.
Wow. Yeah, it was, he had a lucky carnation, and that day it said that he gave the carnation to a little girl, and then he was killed. And I can't imagine the guilt that potential little girl might have had.
Years and years.
A lifetime of guilt.
I would hope she hung on to that carnation.
Probably, they die really quickly, though.
So did he.
Oh, that's true. Why are the folks in the bank not that worried as each Doberman comes into the venue? Like they each enter, they each have their little moment, and then they just sort of sit down, and no one's worried that there are an increasing amount of dogs entering.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And just not with anybody, opening the door themselves and then just sitting down. Yeah, I think maybe
with spiky collars.
Yes. At what point as a bank teller would you become worried? Like how many?
I mean, the janitor was
dogs?
on it. Yeah, the janitor knew what was up, and they didn't believe him. Shocker.
Yeah, big surprise. Again, I don't know which dog it was, but because I didn't keep track of the color coordinated collars.
Me either.
But I like the one that's sitting next to the little boy, and the boy pets the dog, and he's just being so sweet. Like he doesn't growl at him or anything. I thought that was very cute.
Imagine if the whistle went then. We'd be having a real different movie.
Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't with how we went back and forth. Yeah.
Right. This is just my question I had written down. If you were a dog, what dog would you be? Any thoughts? We don't have to keep this in. I'm just a question.
Great question. You know what? I think my family always had Airedale Terriers, like my mom and dad.
Pretty.
Yeah. So those are the dogs I have the most experience with. So I'd probably go with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you? Are you allergic to dogs? Do you have?
Yeah. I am allergic to all animals, but that was because I couldn't have it. That was like a weird obsession I had from like 4th to 6th grade. I was very into dogs. I would check out the same dog book at the library, school library, week after week. Kind of a problem, I'd say. It became very obsessive because it's something I can't, I can't have it, right? Like it's never going to happen.
Right.
So I really like Westies and I like smaller terriers, but I also really think both Wheaten Terriers and Old English Sheepdogs are underrated. I don't know if I'd say any of those were me, but
well, if you had to pick, which one would you say is you if you had to pick?
Probably a Norfolk Terrier. And then people can look that up themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Do a little research. We can't do all the work here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of the naming the dogs, I read that some of the theaters, as a promotional gimmick, after when people were leaving the theater, if you could name all 6 of the dogs, they would refund your ticket.
Can we do it?
I don't think I could do it. Let's see.
It was Bonnie. There's Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
There's Dillinger. That's 3. There's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Pretty Boy Floyd,
right?
Yep.
Who else is there?
Ma Barker.
And then who's the other one?
6. Dillinger. Let me pull up the list.
Okay, well, there's J. Edgar, special guest.
Yep. The Bulldog.
Who are we missing? We failed. We wouldn't get our tickets refunded.
No, we wouldn't get our ticket back.
We have to pay, $250? Full price?
Whatever it was, back then. Babyface Nelson. We forgot Babyface Nelson.
How could we?
How could we forget? Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue.
Do you think that without this movie, we would still have Air Bud? Do you think
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
No, I think this has to be related in some way.
Yeah, I think so too.
And if it's not, then I don't buy it, actually. I choose to believe. But yeah, that's a good question. Were Air Bud books as well, or were they just movies?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't know I haven't boned up. I haven't boned up on my my Air Bud lore, I guess. I don't know the history.
Okay, it says that it was based on America's Funniest Home Videos, based on someone's dog and David Letterman's Stupid Pet Tricks. But I can't say that it probably wasn't related to who knows how we got there.
I feel like this kicked off a subgenre of like
what about the
animals.
Shaggy Dog? When did that?
The Shaggy Dog, yeah. I was gonna say this is a little different from the Shaggy Dog because in that movie, a lot of the dog action is done by a guy in a suit.
And that
whereas this
terrifying.
is like it's I don't know if you've seen have you seen the clip from the sequel, The Shaggy DA? Where,
no, that's what just came up because that was in 1976. So the Shaggy Dog is based on the book The Hound of Florence, which was from 1923. The original Disney movie was in 1959. The sequel in 1976, and then whenever the remake with Tim Allen is after that.
Well, if you get a chance, look up the clip. It's from the Shaggy DA, and he's having some meeting with, I don't know, some bigwig. And the guy's secretary comes in and he says,
"Call the pound."
I already did, sir. The truck is waiting outside.
Out of my way!
And then the Shaggy DA jumps up and punches him as a dog. And it's very clearly...
I have seen that clip.
You've seen that clip?
I didn't realize
Good.
that was this.
Yes.
Wow. Making connections. That's crazy.
Going back to the point of movies of this era having very specific theme songs, the Shaggy DA has an insane theme song as well. So look that up when you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Because he says, one of the lyrics is,
"Unless you help me enforce our laws, kiss those babies and shake those paws. I'm the shaggiest candidate you ever saw, and I'm running for the Shaggy DA."
Which, what does that even mean? Why would you say that?
Like, you're running for the position of
right,
Shaggy
you're running
DA?
for DA. Is
his name Shaggy, or is Shaggy just an adjective?
I think Shaggy's just an adjective for like a dog adjective. And it's, I think Shaggy Dog is like, that's like a type of joke also, where it's like they're providing all these details and then the punchline is like something really stupid. That's like a Shaggy Dog story or whatever.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Let's move into our fanfare or flop section now.
So this is fanfare or flop. This is going through the box office, the budget, the audience reception, the critical reception, and whether Alan Silvestri got any nominations or wins for his work in this movie. Yes.
So this budget estimated $100,000, and it estimated that it made $5 million.
Jesus.
It's a little bit unsure. I mean, we don't know if there's the cutoff is under 500,000, so they're just estimating the 100,000.
Sure.
We talked about how it was rated PG in 1972. It was then re-edited and then received a G rating in 1973, which I don't exactly know what they're cutting out to do that, but that's how it happened.
Must be the blood, maybe?
Blood. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's amusing that Gene Siskel gave this film 3 out of 4 stars and likened it to a canine Bonnie and Clyde in quality as well as content. Quote, "The film runs out of creative gas after the robbery and settles for a stupid ending. The robbery and its planning provides generous portions of laughs and tensions." Gene, I fear we did not see the same movie.
Yeah. I agree about the stupid ending, though. I think he's right on there.
Yeah. I mean, this was well liked enough to make, as we mentioned, 3 more movies, which is a wild just sort of stat, I guess, because you wouldn't think that more movies would come out of this necessarily. But I guess if it's being privately produced, then that doesn't make sense. Alan, unsurprisingly, did not receive any acclaim for this film. I think it's a great debut. I think he probably learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I think this movie doesn't work without him. I think he's crucial to this film. The Alan of it all is, I think that he's needed. He's necessary.
Talking about them making 3 other movies after this, I read that it was very popular at drive-in theaters, which I think makes sense because a lot of drive-in movies, it feels like it's almost like the sort of thing that we have now where they know that the audience isn't going to be fully paying attention.
Yes, you're going to be chatting, you're going to be eating, you're going to be maybe playing some games if it's
you're walking to the concession stand. Yeah. So something like this where it's like very low stakes, you can catch glimpses of it and still know what's going on, and having a small budget and a huge, relatively huge return. I think that's what B movies of this era are like all about. So it's like, okay, well,
that's what you want. Yeah.
If we can do that again, like let's run it back. Let's just have them commit some other crime. And it's like it's such an easy premise too. Like,
yeah, that's true.
What are we going to have them do? Like, I'm surprised they didn't make more than 3 actually.
That's a good point.
I also read that Cesar Millan, aka the Dog Whisperer, He once called this his favorite movie of all time, and he was in talks around 2010 to produce a remake of this movie, but nothing ever came of it, unfortunately. Yeah. So I don't know if he would have been playing a major part.
He's only 56.
Wow. I would not have guessed that.
I thought he was at least 70.
Yeah.
Sorry to Cesar Millan.
How young was he when they were doing that show then?
Well, it started in 2004.
Damn.
He was born in 69. Wild.
That's crazy.
In theory, it's still active, crazy. I guess. I don't know. Wow.
We mentioned the Alan of it all. I would agree with you. I think without him, this movie, I mean, I'm handicapping it a little bit because this was his first time ever composing.
Yeah.
So he is learning. I think there's certain parts of the score that don't necessarily work, but I think he was the secret sauce to this movie.
I think it would be boring without him, honestly.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree. So what are you landing on in terms of a rating?
Gosh, I think the end really sold it for me. I thought that was fun. I know it's silly, but I was shocked that there was a twist and then another twist. And then another twist, honestly. Like, it just kept going. The last 5 minutes were great. Gosh, I don't want to be ungenerous or unkind, but I think I'm at 2 stars.
Yeah.
I think it's just, there's a lot in the middle that's just sort of dead space. And, like, Alan aside, like, there's a lot in this movie that has flaws. And I think that I understand why they couldn't particularly act very strongly, but there could have been better character development that was telegraphed in a different way. And I think, as we mentioned, the fact that they don't know who this is for really hinders the overall film.
I'm going to end up a little bit higher than you. I'm going to put this at 3 stars just because I've watched this twice now. The first time I didn't like the ending all that much. I found it a little too much of a cop-out where there was no like definitive answer. But having watched it again and having read a little bit of the theories, like I talked about, of maybe Barney was involved, I kind of like the ambiguity of it now. Yeah. And then I like that it opens up sort of a greater opportunity for them as they do the sequels, where it's like, well, you know, they could be going anywhere. Where are the dogs heading? So I think I'm landing at 3 stars. All in all, if in terms of a debut picture to start this journey, I think we could have done a lot worse.
Yeah, thinking, I guess, on what we have coming ahead, I'll do 2.5. I think that feels better. Okay. There's more wiggle room there, thinking about what is down the pike.
We do have one voicemail from a listener.
Transmission coming in. Repeat, we have a transmission coming in.
A voicemail and a message from our dear, dear friend Dave. So I will read that. Dave says, well, it was only a matter of time, honestly. After long conversations, both recorded and via DMs with the both of you, it seems only fitting that this podcast would sprout from your 2 amazing minds. Grace and Clarence, I am beyond excited for this journey, this pod, and this composer. And in honor of composition, I made a small one for you both. It is not original in any way, but was the first thing that popped in my head when the announcement was made for this fine audio endeavor. I am by no means vocally talented, but it's those dang thoughts that count, right? And then he says, also, your application to join the Possum Productions podcast Passel has been received. I don't know what Passel means. Sorry, Dave. Has been received and will be evaluated toot sweet. Congrats on this first official episode and can't wait for more. Peace, love, and possums. Grugrux Dave. Very sweet. And then he did send us a voicemail, speaking of the composition, so I will play that now.
Hello, voicemail, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a podcast that is softly creeping left its seeds while I was listening. Grace and Clarence's voices planted in my brain still remains within the sounds of Silvestri.
Dave, we love you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. I think he
you got the high harmonies and the low notes.
You got them both.
Hell yeah.
That was beautiful, yeah. Dave. Thank you so much. We love you. There was one final review that I saw that was tagged Sounds of Silvestri. As a reminder, if people want to follow along with us on Letterboxd, they can tag their reviews with Sounds of Silvestri, and maybe we'll read them on the show. And our good friend Kev, good friend and future guest, watched this movie along with us, and he said, the community we share is dense with listener-created podcasts, each more niche than the last. But in choosing to cover the career of Alan Silvestri, for some reason, I don't know why you had to throw that in.
Yeah, what the hell?
What the hell, Kev? For some reason, these two have found a set list full of movies that never would have been unearthed by any of those shows, including the two I do. And I recommend that people go and listen to those two shows. You can listen to Kev on Austin Danger Podcast, as well as Laurie Strode Trap House. And I think that's a great point by Kev. A lot of these movies, I'm looking at his filmography. It's stuff that I have never heard of. I probably never would have watched.
Yeah.
Including our next episode. Grace, do you want to announce what the next movie we'll be watching is?
Yeah. Okay. This comes from Letterboxd. It's easy to steal $1 million. The hard part is getting away. In Las Vegas, Lucky and two of her girlfriends, Carol and Lisa, plan to steal $500,000 from the sadistic manager of the Circus Casino. A shadowy man is their contact and organizer. Each of the women could be a weak link in a scheme that has to be flawless. Lucky's boyfriend is a security officer at the casino, Lisa is a trapeze artist who's now plagued with vertigo, and Carol is in debt to a nasty thug. Plus, as a black woman, she's subject to additional harassment. Can the gals pull off the heist, or is the plan with its mysterious organizer too complicated to succeed? This is from 1975, Las Vegas Lady.
I love it.
This is one that Alan Silvestri did the composition for, but he is not credited on Letterboxd for. So that if you are searching for this, you won't see it on his Letterboxd page, but it's on his Wikipedia. It's on IMDb. Just, I think, because they don't have the additional crew. They just have the director and the writer.
And this is another collaboration with Silvestri and Bradford Craig. So look forward to that sort of lyricism that we've enjoyed in this movie.
I'm so excited.
I do have a little stinger from the trailer for Las Vegas Lady. Let me see if I can play that.
Las Vegas Lady. If you can't beat the system, you might as well rob it.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Hilarious. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see everybody in 2 weeks. We are going to Sin City. We're going to roll the dice. We're going to bet the mortgage. And hopefully it's not a bust.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to keep up with all things SOS, you can follow the show on Instagram at Sounds of Silvestri. You can also reach out to us at soundsofsilvestri@gmail.com or leave a message at 414-295-9966. We are both on Letterboxd. Clarence is at CK_LB and I am at GraceEllen_. This episode was edited by Clarence with production help from Dave and Ben. And as always, a big thank you to Alan Silvestri.